What's up, y'all? Everyone and all. Happy Monday. I think it's December 29th. Look, I'm saying I think. I had the nerve to wake up this morning to go to work. Thank you, God. And now for some reason I don't seem to know the damn date. Anywho's. Yeah, but wanted to say happy Monday. I'm out here in another park, another day, another park. That's crazy. That really wasn't the plan, but sometimes you just need to clear your head a little bit, think, breathe. And actually, the sun is not out. I dislike the sun. I know we need the sun, but I don't like it. And I love coming out to the park. I like old school things. Like, I don't mind going to the library, here and there. I mean, I got attention span of like a squirrel. But anyway, but yeah, I came to the park again today, of course, to kind of take my kid, just to have a little breather. Like I said, think a little bit, clear my head, and I was just thinking in my dome about how interesting kids are, how they meet each other, how they talk to each other, how innocent they are, how some of them are just really mean, but how some of them are so good and so like sweet. And so that brings me to my story, a really, really brief story, not as long as my last video. And whoever want to listen, might just be the ether. But yeah, so we walked into the park yesterday, and I see these kids. They look at us, whatever. I look at, I'm always paying attention to my surroundings, and I just see the kids, and I'm like, well, they're a little bit older, maybe like I said older. They're probably like 10, 11. I don't know. My kid is 7, so so and maybe not even 20 minutes into us being at the park, this kid comes over, right? This little girl, little cute girl. I don't know. She might have been, well, not cute in a weird way, but she was cute, little chunky cheeks. She had to be like 11. I don't know. She's probably like a little Mexican girl. And she brings this, right? She brings this over, right? The necklace and first thing I'm thinking, because I'm grown, okay, is where's your parents? That's the first thing I'm thinking. Where's your parents? Not only that, but why are you giving this to me? And whose is this? Who's this belong to? This is how I treat my kid. Where did this come from, and whose is this? And why are you giving this to me? And then also, I'm not paying for it. so where did it come from? So I said, what do you like? Why are you giving this to me? Where did this come from? She said, I made it. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, I made it. And the other little girl with her, she was a little bit taller, maybe, like I said, 11, 12. She's like, yeah, we make these, and we want to give it to you. And I was like, why? And she goes, well, we saw you and we like the way you look. Not in a weird way, she was like, we thought you were pretty. And I'm like, okay. Now everybody has their own definition of pretty. Gorgeous, pretty, whatever it is. Everybody has their own definition. I by far don't think I'm, an ugly person. But even still, I was just like, huh? And, don't get me wrong. Like, we go through life and we have our ups and downs. We think about a lot. At least I do. I'm introspective. I think about a lot of things. And, for the last few days, I've been just thinking a lot. Like, I'm real deep. I get real deep into thought. And so I just needed to breathe yesterday. And I was like, take my kid out and just go for a walk, let her play in the park, let her go on the swings, whatever, what have you. And so, like, we chilling, and these kids, like, they come over and they give me this jewelry, and I'm just like, this is not for my kid, and she's like, no, this is for you. And I thought this was the cutest thing in the world. Anyway, so I just wanted, my hands as dry as hell, yo. I really wanted to, like, share that because I just thought that was the coolest thing. And I said, keep being cool. Like, I had to tell the little girl, like, keep being cool. And the other one too. Her name was Autumn and Anaiyla. And let me tell you something. Listen, like, really, and another thing I do think about is, be careful. I didn't want to go down that road with them. Their parents was right across, and the stepmom waved, or whatever, and she told me that was her parents and stuff like that. And I just thought it was really interesting. And I was like, you got to be careful who you walk up to, who you talk to. But obviously, they already felt safe because their parents was right there. The parents were supervising and in the area. I just thought it was a really cool thing, and it's not just, because you said something nice about me, said something sweet to me, and you were looking to give me something, but just of the mere fact that, I feel like sometimes it really does help. It really does help. I'm rambling now because I do that when I go out and I want to say something nice to someone. I don't just do it just because I want to say something, but when you see someone and you're like, I really like your shoes, or like you see a woman to woman, man to man, like, people are always so arrogant sometimes, and they're so prideful, and they just don't want to be kind, be nice, or share. And don't get me wrong, this is not everything I ramble about is not about just being kind and being positive and hugging trees. That's not it, because real life we got some real shit with us. When things happen, and everything's not about walking in the park and breathing in the sunshine and looking at the trees and, ooh, there goes a plane and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's really cool when people don't know what you're thinking about, what you're going through, and then you have those encounters even with children. And I'm like, man, they are so freaking innocent. Kids are so freaking cool. Some of them are a-holes, don't get me wrong, and that's their parents' fault. But I just thought that was real cool, so I wanted to shout them out. And if 0 people will watch this, it doesn't even matter. I know that really brightened up my day. And then my kids saw it, and my kid, she's an only child. I want one, and I'm like, man, why can't I have my moment? But even still, I thought that was really chill. So yeah, I hope you all, or even from, nobody, somebody out there is smiling today. Found a way to smile. Found someone else to smile at. Share that smile with somebody else. And I hope there's encounters like this out there as well, because I try to teach my kids stuff like that too. Hold the door, say thank you, say have a good day, stuff like that. Bad kids, who knows? Maybe bad kids grow up to be good kids. Good kids grow up to be bad kids. But you have to choose. You have to choose, because we all grow up to be adults, and you choose if you want to be kind, if you want to be nice, if you want to be positive, if you want to be negative. You choose. We don't choose the families that we were born into, but we do have the ability to choose. Thank God. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. Enjoy your Monday. Godspeed into the new year. Mad love.